be here today. That doesn't take away from the strength of the conversations that we're going to have. You are going to be my guest, so please do stay with me all through from now up until 4:30 or 4:45 when we wrap up on the big three. All right, at 5 p.m. as usual, being Wednesday, we get into the woman. And we're shifting gears. We've been trying to do some giveaways to incentivize women. We're getting back into the seriousness of it, talking about the power of numbers and how you can build a financial fortress as a female entrepreneur in Nigeria. But of course, our conversations, by the time we get into them, are not female specific, but we want to place emphasis on women and encourage them. So yes, there are going to be conversations around the strength in numbers in the 5 o'clock hour. All right, so please be a part of the show, as we always love for you to be. My name is Somi, that's SOMI, short for Somi, and I'm your host on Hard Facts today, all the way till 7 p.m. Live on Facebook and YouTube. You want to go to Nigeria Info Abuja on Facebook and YouTube to be a part of the conversation. Always love to read on those platforms and also take your questions as well. So engage with us there, please. We very much like that. All right, back to our first story. Some say a landmark ruling, especially as it has to do with high-profile corruption cases in Nigeria. I remember last week we spoke about the conviction of former Minister of Power, Saleh Maman. Well, as of today, the Federal High Court has sentenced him to 75 years imprisonment in absentia. Yes, they still haven't gotten a hold of him, but he was sentenced to 75 years imprisonment over the 33.8 billion naira money laundering and fraud case instituted by the EFCC against him. The court convicted Maman on all 12 counts filed against him by the anti-graft agency, holding that the prosecution proved its case beyond reasonable doubt. Now, Justice Omotosho ordered that the prison terms will run consecutively and not concurrently. I tell you, when I first of all saw this report, the newspaper I read it from, it was looking like they said concurrently, and my heart just dipped, and I'm like, why? What are we doing? But thankfully, I read up in detail, read other reports in detail, and yes, he's serving this term consecutively, not concurrently. So if we were to break it down, the former minister has been sentenced to 7 years on each of the each count, 10 counts altogether, counts 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, without option of fine. 7 years each. That brings the total number of those 10 counts, to 10. That's 7 times 10, that's 70 years. He also sentenced him to 3 years imprisonment on count 4 with an option of a 10 million naira fine, and 2 years imprisonment on count 5 with an option of a fine. So assuming he doesn't take the option of the fine, with the first 10 counts and then this other 2, that's 75 years total. The judge held that Maman's absence in court during the judgment and sentencing proceedings was a deliberate attempt to frustrate the administration of justice. And so he relied on the provisions of the Administration of Criminal Act 2015 and agreed with the EFCC counsel that sentencing can validly proceed despite his absence. Justice Omotosho subsequently ordered all security agencies, including Interpol, to arrest Maman wherever he is found and hand him over to the Nigerian Correctional Service to begin serving his sentence. The court ruled that the jail term will commence from the date of his arrest. Also, the judge ordered the final forfeiture of recovered funds, foreign currencies, and properties linked to the former power minister, including properties traced to him in Abuja. Maman is also directed to refund the outstanding balance of 22 billion naira the prosecution established was diverted from funds meant for the Mambila and Zungeru hydroelectric power projects. Maman, who of course served under former President Muhammadu Buhari, was initially arraigned on July 24th on allegations bordering on conspiracy and money laundering involving this 33.8 billion naira. Now, the question that we're asking, First of all, the fact that it's done in absentia, it still just kind of makes it seem a bit off. But yes, the judge has said whenever he's found, from the date he's arrested, the sentence will start running. So that wouldn't lighten the load for him in any way. But we're opening up the phone lines to discuss with you. Does this sentence represent a systemic shift towards accountability? Or is it a sacrificial lamb scenario where the system punishes one individual to maintain some form of integrity? And then again, also, the severity of the sentence, 75 years. I see, as far as it is consecutively for me, I think it's a start. But the question is that enough to deter the class interest of the political elite? I mean, assuming that this is an accountability move. This is saying, look, we're not smiling anymore, no matter how highly placed you are or you were. Once you're found wanting, you will answer to the fullest extent of the law. 75 years is not a joke. And this is what the court has granted. But will it be enough to deter the political elite from this matter of class interest? I mean, we've had quite a number of cases, some of them still being prosecuted, some yet to be brought to the full, conviction point. But this one, how does it make you feel? Let's have a conversation about it. I have a few other questions on this, but let's start with this. Phone line 0809 597 4869 and also 0809 993 0137. Good afternoon.
Hello, Somi. Good afternoon.
Welcome.
Yeah, this is a situation report. I've been calling. I'm right now, 4th Avenue.
Is it an emergency, Chris? Because we're on a different topic right now. Is it an emergency situation?
That's what I'm saying. I'm
okay.
at 4th Avenue.
All right.
Great Blessing School is on fire. They are trying to evacuate the school children.
Great Blessings.
Great Blessing.
Okay.
4th Avenue, Guarimpa.
Okay.
The fire is serious. I'm telling you. The inferno is just out of this world.
Oh dear.
So they are trying. I think some other people are still trapping. That people are trying to see a way to rescue those people.
So there's no presence of the fire service there.
Nothing. As I'm talking to you now, it's just happening now. That's why I've been trying to reach you so that you can help us announce it.
Fantastic.
So you can help. You please help.
Okay. All right.
Police, please. Anywhere they can see fire service, please. Great Blessing School, 4th Avenue,
okay.
Guarimpa.
Thank you. Thank you.
Really serious.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Then I believe there is a fire service station somewhere in Guarimpa there. Please, if anybody can get there as quickly as possible, while we are also on this end trying to contact 112. You're going to contact 112 for me, please. I'll give you my phone. You step outside, make a call 112, and alert them. Great Blessings, 4th Avenue, Guarimpa. It's a school. Lots of lives there at stake. All right. So, yeah, just take it over there. All right. Thank you so much, Excellent Spirit, for sharing. We will be following up with that situation. Let's get back to the conversation. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, please. Welcome.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Adiola Victor from Bisalagi.
All right, Mr. Victor, go ahead.
It's a good thing that the man has been sentenced to 25 years imprisonment. Let us start somewhere. 33 billion is not a small money. Money meant to revive and spend on our sector. We carry the money, so let him go and face the punishment. We still have other like Mama, who stole billions under Buhari regime. MFL is there, Matami is there, another, and Yaya Bello. So all of them, they should go to jail. These people stole billions, money meant for development. These people have made millions on Accra to cry. So they should also cry. The one that is saying he has gone to Oyo now to go and contest, they should investigate his administration too. Where does he get money to go and contest for election in Oyo State? We don't have power. Tell me what you want to go and tell the people of Oyo State that they are sick at the federal level. They want to be government. He will fail. In fact, he has already failed.
All right.
So the likes of Mama, they should figure them out. They are still in this administration too. When this administration finishes their tenure, they will be exposed.
All right.
All of them who are making us to cry and go to case, they must also go to case. Thank you.
All right then. Good afternoon.
Auntie Somi, good afternoon.
Welcome.
Yes, this is Delegate from Papi.
All right, Delegates, go ahead.
To Somi, you see, whenever they sentence any politician, as case may be, it don't move me. Do you know why?
Do tell.
Okay. You will see, even if like sentence him 2 years, 200 years imprisonment, another government will come in and grant him pardon. This is Nigeria. That money he was, found guilty of, he didn't eat it alone. Mind you, if another government comes in the space of 5 years or down the line, they will grant him pardon. That's number one. Number two, how sure are we that he will be in a correctional center? They will not go and hide him inside one building, hiding him there. Whenever his attention is needed, they will bring him to the correctional center. They will say that is where he is. Hello?
I'm here, sir.
Yeah. So how sure are we that if they caught him, they will put him there? How sure are we?
Well, it remains to be seen. At this point, the court has done what it needs to do, right? So
the court have done their own.
Okay.
But what they have done, good. Everybody will appreciate them for that. But the next thing behind the scene, what will happen? That's my question. What will happen?
All right.
It happens for risk here. Later, we were found that he was not even in the correctional center. So whenever politicians are being sentenced, it don't move me because I know one government will come in and say he was granted pardon. Now today we start. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Interesting. Well, has that been the case for every politician convicted? I know we have a case here or there, but has that been the case for all the politicians? Again, like I said, it remains to be seen, especially as the man is still in the wind. He hasn't been caught yet, which also brings into question the role of the security agencies in this one. Honestly, a high-ranking minister just disappearing while on trial. What does that point to when it comes to our internal security architecture? Or does the court's sentence show, I don't know. The court has done what the court needs to. Let me just leave it at that. But there's still a lot of work to be done, especially as the man is in the wind. He needs to be found. He needs to be made sure. We need to make sure that he is indeed in prison and serving his time. But in this case, like I said, the court has done their part. But let's get more thoughts from you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr.
Welcome.
Yeah, my name is Ifai. I'm calling from Kubwa.
Mr. Fine, go ahead.
Thank you. Like the last caller said, most of these things, they don't expect us anymore. But there is really something that bothers me so much. When people steal what they don't need, because truly, any normal human being will know that they don't need that money that they took. I don't know whether there should be some psychiatric evaluation before people are appointed, because for somebody to steal as much as that, you are stealing for yourself, for your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren. Are those your descendants, are they lunatics? I think it's the man who steals it who is a lunatic, not even the people he's stealing it for. That is the embarrassing question. It's not even that the court descended them, because we are sure for them to have told us that the man, they can't find him, that is the beginning of messing up even the judgment, because the man by now the man might be in Pakistan or in Saudi Arabia enjoy himself. The people in the system who are supposed to make the system work are the ones who are aiding and abetting the system again, making it not work, because those who moved them out knew they are part of the system. My sister, let's just pray that God will one day remember this country.
All right.
Bless Nigeria.
Amen. We'll pick up the conversation after this. Stay with us.
My friend, we are text I looked at your
sentence in absentia. What does that mean? Obviously, at this point, there is some international law element, if you will, and fugitive status to the case. He's currently a fugitive, even though he hasn't even served. He hasn't started serving his prison time. What does that mean? What does that mean for internal security architecture? What does that mean for the security services? Everybody who is involved in ensuring that this man is caught. To think that we started this conversation last week until now he hasn't been caught, it doesn't look good, really and truly. However, there is the conversation also. Someone made a very interesting point that he did this in was the connivance with some other people within the ministry. We really do hope that the EFCC is also pointing their searchlight on those people and ensuring that even they themselves are caught and convicted of their crimes. They must have the paper trail. They must have the signatures. They must have information on that. So we want to really, really and truly urge them because, while we're looking at the high-profile status of this case, there is also the elements within the society that enable these people to get away with what they do. So we hope that they're being prosecuted as well, and they would also face the full extent of the law. I haven't seen, for a crime of this nature, I haven't seen in a long time a consecutive, year sentence. So I'm really, really happy about that. Honestly, I cannot even lie. But someone says here that he should have been jailed for life. That is Babalola from Katampe's comment. And James Ahua from Duse says, "Good day, Somi. If the justice system in Nigeria has been consistent, many more of these criminal elements will have been cooling their heels off in Kuje. Can you imagine the huge amount of money involved for just one man? No wonder the reason why the power sector has defied the various interventions from successive governments. Thanks." Okay, all right then. There is still the conversation about Zungeru and Bambila, but according to what we saw in the court judgment, he has been asked to refund 22 billion naira. That's another trail that we need to pay attention to. But let's talk to a few more people. Good afternoon.
Yeah, hello, good afternoon.
Yes, welcome.
Thank you. My name is Abdul, calling from Jadi.
Go ahead.
On the respect of the court judgment, giving the former Minister of Power 70 years, I think the present administration, let them start using the same court that they are using against the opposition politicians to be indicting them.
Maman Saleh is an opposition politician? I'm not clear.
Yeah. Hello, are you with me?
Are you saying that Maman Saleh is an opposition politician? In what way?
Yes, of course. Yes,
in what way?
Who know Mama Saleh, former late President Muhammadu Buhari? Every Friday they are the one that they brought him and he passed the nomination of the minister during Buhari time. So,
yeah, but how does that make him currently opposition to this administration?
Sorry?
How does that make him currently opposition as far as this administration is concerned?
They have information of each and every former minister that is going to join opposition party. Hello?
I'm waiting for you to finish. I've never heard of Maman Saleh as far as politics is concerned.
What I expect them to do, the money of removal of subsidy that the present administration share to the 36 state governors, let them start indicting them. There is no thing to show on ground. The money that given to them, there is nothing to show. So let's give them 50 years to vacate the office and conduct another election for the credible people to represent the people. Corruption is going deep into this administration, and that is the truth of the matter. Last time, they asked the present administration where is the money of subsidy. He said they share it to the governor to go and do the work in their own state. Is there anything to show on ground? They pack the money and you are going after the other people. So that is what I see is a politically motivated and quite all right. This man is not going to spend 20 years in jail. They are going to pardon him. He's saying APC that come with the promising of fighting corruption and making the life to be better.
Hello. Okay, I think we'll let it go at that. I'm. Your comments, honestly, they had me like confused. I'm not quite sure where opposition came from. Sali Mama was let go by even the late President Muhammadu Buhari as far back as 2021, and he was arraigned in 2024. And up until that time, there was no conversation around politics, at least not that I heard of, where he was concerned. So, I mean, I get the point that you're trying to make about even this administration being on the top of their toes and ensuring that there is no corruption within. But what I'm trying to get from your comment is, does that mean that they shouldn't have convicted Saleh Maman? Did he handle monies and misappropriate them fraudulently or not? And what happens? Is it that if there's corruption within a certain administration, they are not morally or legally in any way allowed to prosecute people who have been known to steal money? I'm trying to get your points there, but let's leave it at that. For now, I've got a few more callers. Good afternoon.
Somi International.
Mazi, what's the word? Now, Continental. Good afternoon.
Thank you, man. Good afternoon, Mazi Destiny, Anthony.
Welcome.
Auntie Somi, let me pick up from where the last caller stopped. This is my position. P2B is an opposition figure, right? Especially to this administration. I don't know if I'm correct.
Obviously.
I also know that Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso is also an opposition party.
Member, yes.
Auntie Somi, if P2B and Kwankwaso, they had some cockroaches in their cupboard, don't you think that this administration would have gone after them? When politicians who stole our money, they are sent to jail, people should not bring in, ethnic or political or religious angle to it and try to make excuse. You've been convicted. Did you steal or did you not steal? Now they've asked him to return money. If they didn't find anything in his possession, would they be asking him to return 22 billion? You understand what I'm saying? Most times, and it's okay, look at why I got angry with P2B when he joined ADC. I saw that Malami is in that place. You have not been cleared by the court that your hands are clean of what EFCC is accusing you of. Some other politicians are still in that place. And you are not telling me I should not pursue Tinubu and not hand over to the same people. When I have funny characters, people who haven't accounted for their time in office, and now they are not telling us that Tinubu is a bad person, we should chase him away. No. So let this administration catch the thieves in the past administration. When Tinubu and his team leaves, the next administration will now look at them and say, okay, you stole this, and then punish them. But the situation where we think because they are not of the same party or they don't belong to the party that we like, then we now say no, they should leave them. He has been sent to jail. I just hope that at least, even if say 20 years, make him stay inside there.
But they've not caught him yet, so he's not in jail yet. There's still that problem.
Yes, Shebi, I know. He's not. Shebi, he's alive now. He's not spirit. They will track him if they want to see him. Not be our people.
Let's not give them ideas, Mazi. Before you know what's happening now, you hear what we're not supposed to hear that will help him. Let's leave it at that.
They've caught him. Are you saying I should not give them idea on how to catch him, or we should hide the secret? We will not update them. Thank you,
Mazi. Thank you. All right then. Thank you very much. Okay. Good afternoon.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Welcome.
My sister, I'm just joining. How much did this man steal?
33.8 billion naira.
33.8 billion.
Yes.
And they asked him to return how much?
22 billion naira.
22 billion, remaining 11 billion.
Well, there are assets and a number of other things that he's supposed to forfeit. So perhaps by the time you add it all up, but in terms of what he's been asked to refund, I believe his cash value, 22 billion naira.
It's all right. But then, the 70-something years they gave him is too small.
Okay.
Considering the recent ones they were talking about, people stole less than 1 billion, and they are given 9 years concurrently. What is happening in this country? Somebody will steal wheelbarrow, and you give him 10 years. And somebody stole 33 billion. Forget about the money. He has not refunded the money. the money is still hanging, and you're giving him. If you calculate it concurrently by account, the countries they account before they arrive at this number of years, you will see him spending less than 5 years. Who is fooling who? Like the other speaker said, another administration will come now. Begin to rub mind with him. Okay, they come on air tomorrow and tell us he has been forgiven. Go to our prisons. Go and see innocent children, young boys. What is their crime? If you go there and ask them, some of them are less than 1 million naira worth of something, and they are given 10 years. And somebody stole money that's meant for me and you. And look at what is happening and telling us they cannot even find him.
All right, sir.
Are we living in a banana island?
All right.
Anything goes. The law enforcement agencies should go against him and go and get him. That's what we need.
All right, then.
No matter where he's handling, like the other person said, you can track him and get him. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. We'll take one more call and then we'll move on to the next story. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Somi.
Yes, sir.
My name is Emeka. I'm in Guarimpa. I didn't even know that something is happening in my neighborhood until someone called and said that in blessings fire. It's one of the largest schools in Abuja here. I don't know why, but I just pray that help will come soon because school is large.
The Federal Road Safety or they should be there by now from the updates I've been getting.
Okay, thank God for that. And then for the future story, I know someone would always say that if you want to do anything, like if you want to steal big. I'm not in support of stealing. I'm not supporting violence or supporting stealing here, you understand? But when you steal small, when you steal something like this up to 1 million, you get a higher jail. Remember the issue of the man, one white man like that they were going to mosque. They said he jumped there or he just escaped. He just disappeared. He became a spirit. The former minister became a spirit or a ghost and just disappeared. Like they shouldn't insult our collective sensibilities. They have allowed him. They have collected things allegedly and allowed him to go. He didn't just wake up and then beat all the whole security and then everything. And
who is the day that collected things, Emeka?
Allegedly, I said.
Then who are the day that you are implying allegedly collected something?
Those in charge of keeping him, of course. Was he granted bail? If he was granted bail, his international passports would have been seized. Meaning he may still be in Nigeria. So they can still get him. We are talking about almost 30 billion here. That 30 billion here is enough to build a standard hospital in the whole 6 geopolitical zone and even build power stations in the whole 6 geopolitical zone. And we're crying the issue of light, power all the time. Are we seriously fighting corruption in this country? Tomorrow, the man may still come back to there tomorrow or any day and say contesting the senatorial thing, and they will still vote for him, saying that their sins has been forgiven. That's the way they are doing to terrorists who killed, and then they say they have rehabilitated them or not. We are not serious in fighting corruption in this country.
All right.
We are serious, you know.
Okay. All right then. As we move on to the second story, I think one critical matter that we might be looking at here, perhaps we don't want to see because there is this inherent lack of trust, is that you are seeing a judiciary who has come under the spotlight for many reasons that are rather unfavorable towards them, taking a stance that is quite different from what we've been used to in the last couple of years, especially as it has to do with, again, high-profile cases, right? So I guess the question there would be, are we beginning to see a more assertive judiciary, a more brave judiciary, or is it just a case of this is one out of many? It's just this rare case and there's nothing that we're going to see come out of it. But I would like to see a judiciary who produces more of these cases, really and truly. Just like someone said, if there were active and, doing what they were supposed to have been doing. We're supposed to have seen more of these people inside here. But at least in this instance, we can say justice may have been seen to be done. Perhaps the issue here now is that the man is still at large. That and the fact that, pretty much just that. It is that he's at large. So it would have been a lot more sweeter, if you will, if the man was indeed within the custody and is cooling his heels in the prison at this particular point in time. But like I said, we'll continue to keep a watch on the matter, and let's see what comes out of it. We have to move on to our second story. We will come back and take more calls, all right? Now, we know that there's quite a lot happening in Kenya at the moment. Nairobi, Kenya, a host of African leaders. I'm talking about everything from Botswana to Mauritania to Egypt to Gabon, Kenya themselves, a host of African countries. Nigeria is also in this conversation, if I'm not mistaken. So they've been at that summit, and according to reports as of yesterday, the French president, who in a way you could say is the one who brought all of these African leaders together, was said to have announced 23 billion euros of investment for Africa at the summit. Of course, again, hosted in Kenya. This announcement was made, I think, on Monday. France apparently brought together all of these heads of state and business leaders for a 2-day summit. It's called the Africa Forward Summit in Nairobi, and it's aimed at renewing France's engagement with the continent after years of strained ties with its former colonies. The investments Macron announced include 14 billion euros in private and public funds from French entities and 9 billion euros from African investors, all focused on energy transition, digital and AI, as well as the maritime economy and agriculture. Macron said that this investment will create 250,000 direct jobs in France and Africa. He says, and I quote, "We are not simply here to come and invest on the African continent alongside you. We need great African business leaders to come and invest in France." He said, and that too is what underpins this relationship, now entirely free of hang-ups. Ahead of the summit, Macron had told the Africa Report that colonialism could no longer be blamed for all of Africa's challenges. He said, and I quote, "We must not exonerate from all responsibility the 7 decades that followed independence." He called on African leaders to improve governance. Again, this interview before the summit itself. Europe's former colonial powers are not the predators of this century, he said. And he also said at the summit that the process of returning Africa's artworks looted from the colonial era had become unstoppable, as the French parliament just last week passed a law paving the way for Macron to return looted African cultural artifacts. Okay, so getting into the meat of this conversation, what does this mean for Africa? 23 billion euros. There are some critics that have come up with some very, very strong, what would you call it now, criticism about this move. They're saying that this is another way to present themselves as the saviors, if you will, of Africa, especially following their strained ties with their former Sahelian colonial countries, if you would call them that. Yeah, but on the other hand, critics are also looking at it and saying this isn't just a gift, it's representing a strategic shift from aid dependency to co-investment. The focus now has shifted from the Franc-Afrique model to a more Anglophone and what some people call Lusophone economies. So Kenya is one of these economies. Nigeria is one of these economies. And of course, we all know the budding relationship between our president and that of France as well. South Africa and Angola also are the new targets, if you will, use that word, moving beyond France's historical comfort zone in West and Central Africa. According to Macron, the funds are targeted at high-growth industries. I mentioned energy transition. They're looking to create infrastructure for renewables and critical minerals. There is also digitalization and AI, which means tech hubs and connectivity. There is, for example, the 300 million euro Exian Group partnership. And then for agriculture, they intend to strengthen value chains via facilities like the 300 million euro EcoBank deal. And Macron is estimating at least 250,000 direct jobs. Now, what do you make of this move towards France getting new allies in these Anglophone and Lusophone countries? We'd like to get your thoughts on this. There are some concerns. For example, someone says, how can France claim a partnership of equals while the CFA, that's the franc, is still used in many West African nations? This CFA still remains tied to French fiscal policy. Does this new 23 billion euro investment bypass or reinforce that structural dependency? That's a question. Another one is this... what's it called now? This Anglophone pivot, moving from Francophone to Anglophone. Is this a genuine evolution or is it a desperate retreat from the anti-France sentiment sweeping through the former colonies? Let's get to you and your thoughts on this. 0809-597-4869 and on WhatsApp 0809-993-0137. Good afternoon. Sorry about that. Hello.
Hello, Somi.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me an opportunity. I greet you.
I greet you too, sir. What's your name?
Issue of Africa country, that's in Kenya. That's it. I thought in Nairobi. Hello?
I can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. The issue is that Africa, we still have a very far way to go. In the situation where we are not educated, number one. Just educated one we have, those there are only but few. Then poverty is the issue. And we are not even helping ourselves. See, all this, let me tell you the problem of we Africa, especially in the western part of Africa. See, producing of children where we cannot be able to take care of. We cannot take them to school. We cannot feed them. We cannot even grow them, the problem. So this is that we still have far breast. All these producing children, I don't buy. It's what to marry produce small children. It's not only marry first one is not okay for you. Marry second, it's not okay. Marry third, fourth, fifth, sixth, only produces. Yeah? It's not encouraging. So we still have a far breast. All this poverty. You cannot go anywhere with the poverty. All this every day you marry, morning you're on top of woman, afternoon you're on top of woman, evening you're on top of woman, and night you're on top of woman.
What's the point you're trying to make, sir? I'm a bit confused with your analogies.
Hello?
Yeah, can you wrap up, sir, with the point you're trying to make?
So it's what I'm saying. We are not helping ourselves.
Okay.
We cannot develop with this mentality. Thank you. Have another mention. God bless.
Okay. Good afternoon. Hello. Hello.
Good afternoon, ladies and me.
Good afternoon, sir.
Abubakar Kwale Uprongo. My take on the first story. You don't blame any politician who has the privilege of holding political office amongst the world. It's about the system. Right from the beginning of the inception of this republic, there must be somebody who sells himself to national treasury, to the son of trillion, in every regime, in every administration, up to today. So why does the system allow individuals to accumulate such wealth without check and balances? It means that if I have worker today occupies a certain office, maybe a portfolio under this administration, all the federal allocation, I have power over all the allocation. It should be stopped. Then the true country doesn't do that. Every kobo is accounted for. Dealing and transaction of government must be transparent, open, and will be answerable to somebody. But here, it is when you are not in the good book of those in authority, then they start, they turn the searchlight on you. It's uncalled for. And for France, then going to far away Nairobi, carrying out a summit, where West Africa is more or less the colonial enclave of France. But how their relationship with their former colonial countries ended. So we should ask ourselves. Thank you.
All right, then. Thank you, sir. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, Somi.
Welcome.
This is Chigo. Please, concerning this former minister, you mean that the man is, stole 30-something billion, and they asked him to return 20-something? Hello?
I can hear you, Chigo.
Oh, you mean that they left almost 10 billion for him?
No, that's not what happened there. That's not what happened there. Remember, he's been sentenced to jail, and there was a final. There's an order for final forfeiture of recovered funds and properties. So perhaps they've done the assessment. I'm not quite sure how that works, but it's not as simple as to say that they left the ones that he was not asked to refund for him. But that's not. And I don't think that's an ideal way to put it.
Okay. And now the man is nowhere to be found.
Apparently.
Good. And they want to tell us that they can't find him.
Well, they are looking.
Please.
I'm not sure that anybody has come out yet to say they can't find him. The judge has ordered, so we expect a response. He has to be found. He must be found.
Okay, please. From now till tomorrow, we're expecting them to say, yes, we have caught him, because I believe that he will not enter plane to travel outside or even using the waterway. So since they are aware now, please, they should find him and get him. Thank you.
All right, Chigo. Let's take some messages, and we will take the news at the top of the hour. This one here, where is it? Okay. Good afternoon, Mike from Abuja. It says, Macron and the West should leave Africa to develop. His speech and the need to always control the resources in Africa has made Africa underdeveloped. The fake loans and aid have never helped Africa. Take a look at Mali. France doesn't want them to develop. They've been killing each other in a war, richly sponsored by France. That is Mike from Abuja's comment. And this one here, Jay says, the government is being... Okay, it's all grandstanding. If he defects appropriately, his sins will be forgiven. How about the people currently receiving FAC allocations and putting directly into campaign funds? They're saying it's 800 billion naira. Don't be deceived. Jay with that one. Okay, who's saying? What is 800 billion? Not quite sure. Another message here this time around. Jay, also reporting from Jabi. Somi, how does being an opposition relate to money stolen by a thieving minister? The Nigerian people are the problem of Nigeria. We know the truth. They know where he is. Was EFCC not doing as if they couldn't arrest Yahaya Bello, that they knew was in the governor's lodge in Kogi State? She says, Macron's 33 billion euro carrots, nobody should fall for it. Why did African countries even gather for such a conference? We have grown beyond this as a continent, I beg. All right, let's take this voice note.
Good afternoon, Somi.
Good afternoon.
How you doing and how is his work? Remember, this man of a former minister is at large. At large, they know where he is now. The security agencies who should kept him, they know where he is, and if they want to get him, they know how to get him. Is it not in this country that we are? When former governor of Bayelsa State, Alami Sieta Rapa, and escaped. We know how a former EFCC chairman escaped, Lamode. In this same country, when people can just wake up and they tell us that they've escaped, when people will go to prison and unknowingly to us that they are cooling off in 2 bedroom or 3 bedroom somewhere, enjoying cruising at night. In the daytime, they went to their 2 bedroom at night. They went cruising in the same town. At large to where? Drama. That's all you see. That's all we hear. I'm not even interested in any persecution. All these people that have looted their money anymore. Because most of it, nothing comes out of it. To be serious. My name is Odosh Chris from town.
Okay, all right then. We've got to take a quick break. When we come back, more conversations, and we've got one more story to share and to analyze before the Big Three wraps up for today. Thank you so much. Stay with us.
In the comfort of your home, on your way to work, in the midst of your daily activities, your Let's Talk station is here to keep you informed. Only on your number one for talk, 95.1 Nigeria Info. Let's Talk. There's a place where you can get it all trending.
People are dropping on their vehicle, are running, leaving their vehicle.
A place where you can air your views.
I want to report the situation.
Only on your number one station for talk.
This is not the way. We cannot continue like this.
95.1 Nigeria Info. Abuja. Let's talk.
The details.
The stories.
With the updates.
Your number one station for talk brings it all.
Nigerian politics is more strategic. Even look at the presidential level, you see almost the same thing almost playing out. It's a game of numbers and popularity.
Even of course to help our brothers and sisters to rise up and to condemn.
Don't be left out of the conversation.
Let's talk
On 95.1
Nigeria Info.
You've seen the headlines. Headlines. But do you know the real story? 27 years into the Fourth Republic, it's time to move past the noise and get to the truth. That's right. Nigeria Info is taking the conversation digital. Welcome to our first virtual town hall meeting on X Spaces. We aren't just talking, we're dissecting. Join our powerhouse panel.
Aisha Yesufu, human and political rights activist and politician.
Paul Alaje breaks down the economy. Mr. Kabir Adamu tackles security. Edosa Oviawe analyzes policy. Dr. Maxwell Okpara speaks about the law. And Carl Umabwefe Orakwe breaks the media perspective. The theme, Nigeria's Fourth Republic, the gains, the failures, and the roadmap forward. This is your chance to listen, learn, and be heard. Date, May 22nd, 2026. Time, 3 p.m. sharp. Head over to @Nigeria Info ABJ on X and hit that Remind Me button. The roadmap to a better Nigeria starts with this conversation. Nigeria Info, your number one station for talk, news, and sports.
Allow us save you the stress.
Words on marble.
Words on marble. Words on marble.
You said it, we heard it, and captured it. Words on marble.
Let's talk about the biggest conversations made of trustworthy ideas passionately connected to everyone. Let's talk on Nigeria Info 95.1 Abuja. New hosts, new realities, true conversations, trustworthy ideas, shared passionately on your number one talk station of the nation. Nigeria Info 95.1 Abuja. Let's talk.
And now, news from the nation's capital. This is Abuja Today.
Primary and secondary school students in the FCT are calling on the federal government to establish a scholarship fund to support out-of-school children. The students who spoke to our correspondent, Ina Douglas, expressed concern over the rising number of children out of school due to poverty.
Governments should try to create an avenue, something like a scholarship, to help them to win, because there are some brilliant children out there, but due to some reasons, one thing or the other, they don't really have the opportunity to, go to school. So the government should try to create scholarships, should try to create an avenue for them to learn and groom themselves.
The government should also take action in the sense that they should create poverty alleviating schemes, and also to award scholarships to all those brilliant children who are worthy.
People who don't have money to be in schools, the government should create scholarships and give them so that they'll be able to have the opportunity I have.
Please, government, please bring them back, because they are our future leaders. So please bring them back because of the future, please.
They want that lack of education could increase social vices and crime in society.
It can lead to social vices, because most of this corruption, bribery, is because some of them is lack of funds, lack of money, and some of them is inadequate education. So I would like to encourage them to look for it to get back to school.
Meanwhile, the United Nations Children's Fund UNICEF estimates that Nigeria has about 18 to 20 million out-of-school children. An FCT Chief Magistrate Court has granted bail to former SDP National Chairman Shehu Gabam over alleged misappropriation of party funds, breach of trust, and forgery. Gabam was arraigned alongside Chukwuma Ogbonna and Uche Chukwu before Chief Magistrate Amauchi Onyedum. The court granted him 3 million naira bail with 2 sureties who must own property in Abuja and adjourned the case until May 25. Speaking after the proceedings, Gombe said the action was aimed at restoring accountability and discipline within the party.
If we are to present candidates, there will be president, governors, senators, members of the House of Reps and State Assemblies, chairmen and councillors. I think at the party level we are supposed to cleanse the party to make it corrupt-free. So that is why we are cleansing the party. In the process, an audit report of the party was submitted to INEC that said that the party within their under review was able to make only 32 million and almost 31 of that money was canvassed. And the money and the audit report was signed united with the spending chairman.
And finally, the FCT Internal Revenue Service has denied reports of disputes between its management and staff. In a statement, the agency described the reports as an attempt by unauthorized individuals to incite unrest and disrupt its operations. He said any issues would be handled in line with the law while reaffirming its commitment to dialogue and engagement with staff representatives. The service also urged staff to channel their concerns through approved and recognized platforms for proper resolution. And that's Abuja Today on 95.1 Nigeria Info. Thank you for listening. More news comes your way 5 p.m. News Update. I am Joy Eberebe.
Place where you can get it all trending.
Dropping on their vehicle and running, leaving their vehicle.
A place where you can air your views.
I want to report that it's true.
Only on your number one station for talk.
This is not the way. We cannot continue like
95.1 Nigeria Info. Abuja. Let's talk.
Let's talk about the biggest conversations made of trustworthy ideas passionately connected to everyone. Let's talk on Nigeria Info 95.1 Abuja. Welcome back to Hard Facts.
This is Hard Facts.
Hard Facts.
Hard Facts.
On 95.1 Nigeria Info.
Good afternoon, Somi. This is Godwin Ogojama in Abuja. Yes, on the landmark judgment sentencing the former Minister of Power to 75 years imprisonment. I see it as a rhetoric judgment because somebody who is absent and cannot be found and judgment pass on his behalf. How do you think it's going to be possible after this very present heat of the judgment this week, this month? It ends about everything concerning him. He goes about enjoying himself wherever he is. And to talk about him, what about the former Accountant General of the Federation who stole about 110 billion and today is walking about? Yahya Bello is walking freely. Saadatu Bello, the former Minister for Humanitarian Affairs, Beta Edu and the likes, moving about freely in the country and nobody saying anything. Is it only this one? Is it only this man that stole money that Nigeria should be concerned about? They should go after others. Also, the one who had just left, the former minister who had just left now, to go and contest election in your state. Issue should be brought to book. Because if you go check the background, you see a hell of billions is amassed and going to take up political appointment from the state. Thank you.
Auntie Somi, good afternoon. My name is Triple D, and I'm sending this voice message right now in Waru City, FCT Abuja. Well, just as one of the callers said, Auntie Somi, how are you sure this man is not even in Nigeria listening to what we are saying? How can someone steal such kind of money in this country, or allegedly, and then trial is ongoing and the person disappear. If such kind of person will disappear when the trial is ongoing, how are you sure he will be in the prison? They are making mockeries of Nigerians. If the system allow him to disappear when trial is ongoing, how are you sure the system will still allow the same person to serve the prison? They are making mockery of Nigerians. I'm telling you the truth. But God, thank God we are knowing them by names. This is what they did to the country. Nemesis will catch up with them. Law of karma will not allow them to live freely one day in this country. Nigeria will get it right. This is the reason why we cannot get good road. We cannot get access water. We cannot get good health. One person, let Nigerians rise up and know that this country belongs to us, the voice of the masses, not any of our leader. The man is somewhere around the corner in this country, Somi. Have a nice day and God bless you for all that you do for him.
All right then. Adibola Wusetu says, this is one of the problems of Nigeria. When someone of our tribe, religion, or kinsmen are convicted, we give excuses for them and claim that it is witch hunting. This is really sad. All right. Adeni Shitu from Wusetu says, I quite agree with Abubakar from Gwagwalada. It's the system that makes someone steal. May God heal our country. And just to touch on that a little bit, really and truly, whether Saleh Maman is found or not, whether he serves his jail term or not, even if he's given a life sentence or someone says he should be given the capital punishment, the truth is that there is a lot that we still need to fix within the institutions that we have set up. Again, a number of names have been mentioned across various levels of governance that have one issue or the other with them. I think it was a comment on Facebook, if I'm not mistaken, Wonu's comment saying, what happened to the likes of Yahaya Bello, former Kogi State governor, that they are seeing now in the web of corruption, that was just cleared to run for Senate. Did that happen? Wow. We're not ready in this country at all. 32 billion naira compared to his 80 billion naira. So yes, there is a bigger conversation around what we need to fix in our institutions that make it almost impossible for these amounts of money to be stolen in the first place. Again, there are calls for, and I keep making this call, but the people who aided this minister to steal this money, we need to see them also put on the stand and given the maximum penalty if it exists. But if we don't fix these systems, how are we not sure that another 2 or 3 years down the line, we're not going to produce another Maman Saleh? So that's a bigger conversation that also needs to be had. And, while I don't know about any other person, why I in particular, I'm hopeful in terms of what we've seen from the judiciary as a court judgment come out compared to what we've seen in the past where they're giving concurrent sentences and it's basically a slap on the wrist. We want to see that not only is the judiciary working, but every other agency also ensuring that whether they are within this government, whether they are not within the government. As a matter of fact, we should probably be pushing as citizens to remove the immunity clause from our leaders, because the truth is that, some of these things happen and it's a case of, when I come out, depending on whose books I enter, I may or may not be pursued and prosecuted. Not saying that this is a political case now. I'm not saying that this Mama Saleh's prosecution is political, but just looking at it on the grander scale, I would very much like to see a system that even while the officers are in power, whether as governor, whether as minister, whether as whatever, as long as there are systems in place and institutions in place to checkmate stealing of our global, of our national commonwealth, how do they say it? Our national wealth, that on the spot they can be caught, prosecuted, and then made to face the full extent of the law. I think that is more of what we want to see, or I very much would like to see. Not a case of when you come outside, then it's a question of a coin toss, okay, heads or tails, before you know that they're going to go after you. Okay, let's touch on the last story very quickly, and then we'll go back and open up the phone lines. A very troubling report coming from, I think Premium Times put this up, but Hume Angle Media reports document how social media crowdfunding is shaping Nigeria's kidnapping crisis, with ransom demands apparently rising as fundraising campaigns gain visibility. In one widely reported case, a 28-year-old John Azzi was abducted with co-travelers along the Jos-Kaduna Highway on the 11th of April. A video of his captors beating him was widely circulated online, and his kidnappers reportedly initially demanded 30 million naira or $22,000 which was reduced after negotiations from 5 million naira to 5 million naira rather. That's about $3,600 with additional undisclosed conditions. And social media reports claim the ransom then rose to between 15 million and 50 million as public attention grew and fundraising efforts became more visible. A number of us also are aware of the story of Abba Usman, who was kidnapped while traveling from Zamfara State to Sokoto on the 9th of January. His ordeal, of course, drew outrage after social media videos showed his abductors torturing him, and family efforts drove public appeals and crowdfunding campaigns to raise the ransom. Mr. Usman's captors initially asked for 50 million naira, and then the family negotiated it down to 10 million naira. After that was paid, the abductors demanded motorcycles and other items. Now, this report is showing a shift in ransom amounts as awareness and support networks are growing, also reinforcing concerns that abductors are increasingly attuned to financial signals generated by collective responses to kidnapping. Again, this is coming from a Hume Angle Media report, as also highlighted by Premium Times. From 2018 to 2023, bandits have killed more people in Nigeria's northwest than the terrorist groups ISWAP and Boko Haram combined in the northeast. And these armed bandits target farmers, traders, students, families, travelers, all turning abduction into low-risk, high-reward enterprise that thrives amidst weak state protection and fragmented security responses. Now, the question also will be on this matter of how we can get state protection to be more heightened, because all of these things continue to happen because of this weak state protection and fragmented security responses. We're looking at instances, whether individual instances or combined, where kidnappers are seriously leveraging online public empathy to extract higher ransoms. And this situation continues, incident after incident, probably month after month. And it has now become a form of commodified violence. Why are we still having weak state response mechanisms as far as security is concerned? Why are we still having these things happen? It's a conversation, of course, I very much would like to have with the guests, and we're working on a guest coming probably by next week, Monday. But for those of us who have witnessed this, personally at one level or the other, what do we do? How do we fix this? Perhaps let's assume that the government does not know, even though it makes no sense to say that, but how do we fix this? Today, bandit groups are not driven by ideological agenda. No, they are learning a lesson. Visibility will increase value once they're able to post the degrading state of these their captors on social media and garner public outcry or public rage. They know for a fact that that money must definitely come out, and some of them are even taking advantage of it to increase the amount, especially when public fundraising is called for. I remember it was Abba's case, and the young man who was pushing it on social media, discussing with the family and, putting everything out on social media to say, look, this thing is happening. I remember when he came out and at a point he said that the family was organizing a burial for their son because of the way the kidnappers were treating the case. We've raised ransom, we've given it to you, but you are seeing public outcry and you are thinking, oh, we can leverage on this. At a point, the boy's family, according to the young man on social media, says, the fact that we've given you money and you're not giving us our son back, we are going to assume the worst. We're going to bury our son. And negotiations back and forth, the bikes and all of that. So, yes, we're having this continue, month on month, incident after incident, in the face of this weak security structures. How do we fix this? Let's talk, if you can. 0809-597-4869. And on WhatsApp, 0809-993-0137. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, welcome.
My name is Ifeanyi, calling from Cuba.
Go ahead, sir.
Our problem in the security sector is actually hydra-headed. Because the last conversation, we were talking about somebody stealing billions. And I want to relate some of these things to a whole lot of things that are going on. Somebody is stealing billions not only to build houses or buy cars or marry new wives. We should be asking our question, all these people who served under Buhari's government, who stole as much as we can't even put together, what are they doing with that money? That is one question. Number two, all these bandits and kidnappers who are parading sophisticated weapons, how do they source them? And who sources these weapons for them? Because if you sight those kidnappers, if you see them, their physical nature, you will know that those guys can't even raise any money. And then the money that's given to them, you will be sure that that money, they don't use it because their outlook, even the what they wear, their slippers, you will even know that these people, they are just working for some people. Then, thirdly, our security agencies, I think the Nigerian people should investigate their security agencies. Because you can't tell me that somebody abuses the minister or the president on phone. In the next 2-3 days, they have tracked the person down. And somebody is posting videos from wherever and making calls from wherever. They can't track those people. There is complicity in these things. Nobody can convince me that the one thing is not leading to the other. And you find out that even the religious leaders, they don't condemn these things. And these guys go to mosque. These guys, they have an imam who come through occasions, they organize worship and they call the same God who they are oppressing, the creation of the same God they are worshiping. Look, Nigerians is just like we don't even know what we are doing.
All right.
But I know one day we will know. God bless Nigeria.
All right then. Thank you very much. I think even more scary, I just remembered when the last caller was speaking, talking about, access to these platforms that these terrorists have. Just so that you know, just yesterday, news hit the airwaves that Nigerian troops intercepted 400 Starlink devices allegedly used by terrorists. Do you know what one Starlink device is? And they intercepted 400. This just shows you how highly equipped these terrorists are. 400 recovered by Nigerian troops, and these devices were allegedly used by terrorists. Let's get back to you. Good afternoon.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is CJ Somi. Hello?
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, about 30-something billion for convicting that man. To me, is a capital lie. Federal government is just cooking everything and giving media. Media will be selling it to us. Where is that man? Which part of the world the man hides? They cannot fish it out. How many more it takes to fish out Nnamdi Kanu? To me. Let the federal government is keeping telling us lies since 2015. That's how they tell us right to the premier in Abuja.
Which one is the lie?
They go and hire aircraft from Ethiopia, do every abarakata and sell it to us.
Just to be clear, CJ,
Absentia,
CJ,
sentenced him for 20-something years, or 70-something years. Let them keep cook and give media will sell for us. To me, CJ, I do not believe in it. They just know how they will swallow the money.
I'm trying to understand which one you don't believe in. Is it that is it the conviction you don't believe in, or the fact that he cannot be found?
What they are telling us to me, CJ, is capital lie.
Okay.
It's capital lie. Where is that man? Who do it that the man will go and hide? To me, they are telling us lie. Since 2015, after the lie Mohammed, they have changed another system of government, another system of selling us. So to me, it's capital lie. It's not true. They know how they swallow the money. You understand? That is my take. Thank you.
All right, then. Let's take a few more. Good afternoon. Hello?
Good afternoon.
Yes, welcome.
Yeah, my name is Ojo, the next president.
All right, so go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. On the judgment on Salim Omo, I want to appreciate the judge that have the audacity to give that kind of judgment. I think to some extent, they serve as a detriment to other politicians. And I pray for her that God will continue to protect her, give her good head and sound mind. I wish the punishment would have been stiffer than this. I would have been happy. And I want to thank the EFCC that do a good job. They will have compromised that judgment since 5 years ago, but they don't give up until they have final judgment. And some people who are doubting the judgment, whatever it is, I don't know how they are thinking. You don't expect the court to go and bring the accused in his own house if the security can't find him. But despite that, the judge still went ahead to give that judgment without any option of fan. So I pray that the security agents will be able to do the good work as been directed by the court, directing the Interpol and the security agent to look for him by all means. Now, the question I want to ask is, how many ministers have been convicted of corruption allegation under past administration of Buhari? How many of them? You can see the level of money that's been cut away from the Nigerian economy. That's why citizens are still suffering it up to now. You can see what we are passing through in the issue of electricity. That 33.8 billion, if the diamond has been spent usually on Mambila project, I don't think we'll be suffering what we are suffering in terms of electricity by now.
Okay.
I'm still waiting for EFCC to bring former Minister of Aviation back to court for 20-something billion dollars spent on Nigeria Airway, and the thing disappeared before daybreak.
All right.
That is the highest slap any minister has done on Nigeria. You brought a plane into Nigeria soil in the evening, and before daybreak, it disappeared. Until now, nobody can find that plane.
All right, sir.
It's a real slap on us.
Okay.
God will deliver from all these politicians. They rather from there to be an asset, they are throwing themselves a liability.
All right, sir. That's your time. You've spent well over 2 minutes. Let's take a few more. Good afternoon, Somi. Hope you're good. An extract from Macron's statement suggests that he acknowledged the fact that colonialism could be described as a predator-prey relationship. My point is that whatever deal they may be putting forward, African leaders should cautiously peruse it with utmost circumspection. I believe once a predator, always a predator. Neocolonialism does not suggest a better life for the colony, but it's a change of manipulation tactics. France is going through a whole lot as a result of the Sahelian state from their influence. We should not be beguiled as a replacement for such a vacuum. Sam Oluyemi from Massacre with that one. Okay, let's take this. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Welcome.
Good afternoon, Somi.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon. My name is Bode. Thank you so much for all that you are doing for the Nigerian public.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you, too.
I have about 3 things to react to. I hope the first one is permissible, and that is to make comments on other people's comments. I find,
as long as you're not derogatory, just you can talk about the issue, not the person.
Not derogatory.
Okay, all right.
No, not the person. Not the person is the issue.
Okay.
I find it interesting when somebody said Mama Saleh's position hangs diction and sentence.
Mr. Bode, there's something wrong with your network. We're not hearing you clearly. Can you call back, sir? Can you move around and call back? We're not hearing you clearly. We'll take more of your contributions after this. Stay with us.
Oh yeah, shoppers, make una hear correct gist. Maggi chicken flavor promo don land o.
Buy Maggi chicken flavor 50 double cubes pack and get 10 extra cubes free.
Yes o, and if you buy small 10 double cubes pack,